Anybody who's been around woodworking for a while has heard that you should never make a climb cut at the router table. That means you should always feed your stock across the table from right to left, because that's the opposite of the direction of the spinning bit. So instead of the bit grabbing and sucking the wood and potentially your fingers into the cut, it will slightly resist your feed and give you full control as you work. We made a video about climb cuts, what they are and when it's safe to use them, some time ago. I'll link to it in the description below this video if you wish to learn more. But bottom line is, never make a climb cut at the router table. That's simple, right? The problem is, there's a situation where people sometimes find themselves making a dangerous climb cut without even knowing it before it's too late. Imagine you're cutting a dado or a groove or even a slot in a piece of wood using a router table and a straight bit. Your bit is 1/4 inch wide, but your slot has to be 5/16. So you cut it in 2 passes, right? The first pass cuts a 1/4 inch slot. Then you move your fence in towards the bit, 1/16 of an inch, and you try to widen the slot with the second pass. But when you do, your workpiece rips out of your hands and you're left with a load in your shorts. What happened? When you made that second pass, you were cutting with the back of the bit, and the back of the bit is pulling in the opposite direction as the front of the bit. You made a climb cut. If you have to widen a dado, groove, or slot with the second pass, you must always move the fence away from the bit, not towards it. This way, you'll still be cutting with the front of the bit in a safe push-cut manner. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Why can't I cut with the back of the bit if I reverse the feed direction, moving the workpiece from left to right instead of the standard right to left? Then I'll be pushing against the direction the bit wants to pull, right? First of all, you don't want to switch your feed direction around. Feeding from right to left should be automatic, so you don't have to think about it, you don't get yourself confused and hurt. But even if you can keep it all straight, it's a bad idea to cut with the back of the bit alone, because you trap a portion of the workpiece between the fence and a powerful spinning cutter. A router table is not a thickness planer. Something can go wrong and that bit can splinter your workpiece and turn it into a projectile in a hurry. But wait, you say, if I'm cutting a dado or a groove or a slot in a single pass, isn't there always wood between the fence and the back of the router bit? Yes. But both sides of the bit are cutting at the same time, so the force of the front counteracts the force of the back. It's not the same thing. With proper safety devices like push blocks and iron ear protection, a router table is an essential tool that can be used safely to do amazing things. Just pay attention to your feed direction and think before you cut. If you sharpen your tools by hand, do yourself a favor. Try one of Trend's diamond stones. You can start with a card, but before long, you'll want a full bend stone because these things cut fast, they stay perfectly flat, and you can go from stone to strop to wood and be back to work in under a minute. I'll link to my favorites in the notes below this video. Wait, don't go yet. If you're new here, please subscribe and remember to ring the bell. I would really appreciate that. Give us a thumbs up, or better yet, leave us a comment. I always read them. And be sure to check out the latest issue of Stumpy Nubs Woodworking Journal. It's always packed with tips, tricks, and tutorials designed to make you a better woodworker.